best of luck. Now, Britain's leading universities raised the prospect of an increase in student fees earlier this week as a means of maintaining standards in the face of possible government spending cuts on higher education. Now, this could see the current cap on tuition fees lifted, which currently stands at £3,225 a year. Now, this change may allow universities to set their own fees, which some say could see students facing fees of up to £20,000 a year for the most popular courses, which would then leave them in debts of £40,000 after they graduate. So, do we think it's fair that we expect students to pay for higher education in any form?
Well, can I preempt my opinion by saying that, first of all, I think far too many people go to university now. They should be doing apprenticeships and they could do higher education and useful things, and, you know, that whole thing about you have to go to university.
They're called universities now,
well,
whereas before they would have been called something different.
But equally, I feel that, that everybody has a right to education, and the trouble is that the less well-paid and will lose out again, you know, on this. And to say to students you can start life owing 20 grand is, I just can't understand it.
Well, sorry, Carol.
Sorry.
I disagree. I don't think we should be paying for it. And I know that sounds awful, I'm going to get shot down here, but when I left school, I didn't really like school, but I wanted to better myself, and I got myself a job, and then I got a second job, and I went to night school, and I paid for myself to go to night school because my parents couldn't afford to send me to university or whatever. So I learnt two lessons there. I learnt that if I pay to do it myself, I am earning money, and I'm learning about money at a very early age, and I really got my head down because I was paying for it. Whereas a lot of students, you know, let's be honest, go in there because it's paid for, and they have a great time and they're down the pub.
I know what you mean, but with the greatest respect, Jane, most of us, including me, shouldn't have been going to university, and to do night school and all the rest of it is fantastic for what you wanted to achieve. And I didn't want to go to university because I was an actress. But there are people, really, that we need in industry, in research, in science, in the arts, who should be in university, who, if they are from a school, you know, that doesn't have an intro, it becomes elitist again.
Wouldn't it be better for the schools to actually say who are the brainy people, and for them to send them there? Because that's what happened in my day.
Well, and should send them there with no fees, yes, but that, I agree with you. But then we're into, you know, grammar schools should go, and, you know, what you can't tell one child they're not brainy and not another.
Yeah,
but that's life,
to be the same.
Yeah, you know, but
that's the other thing, why so many people are going to university. Actually, they're not now. A lot of people are dropping out because of the fees. But the last government had a target of 50% of all school leavers going to university. Now, that is just social engineering in a big way. What you want is for people to go to university to, you know, gain a profession. And I'm not... the problem with the school fees at the moment is it's so grossly unfair across the UK, because you don't pay in Scotland, but you do pay in England. And now they're just saying there's going to be no cap on it, and they can charge what they like. And that is going to deter a hell of a lot of people from going to university. But where I think that it's right, I do think that there should be an element of contribution from the students, because, as Jane quite rightly says, you know, I know a lot of people who went to university because they didn't want to go to work, and they thought, well, you know, and they probably came out of it with a bit of a rubbish degree as well, so, you know, it was all completely pointless. And as a taxpayer, I kind of resent that. So I'm up for contributions, but not endless contributions, because to leave university with a debt of £40,000 is just... It doesn't benefit anybody.
I think as well it depends on the kind of degree that you're going for. Let's say a more academic degree that maybe you want to go to some of the top-flight universities. Yes, I can kind of understand that, but there are so many. As we were talking before, you know, there are technical college, what used to be called polytechnics. I went to a poly, and there are qualifications that are rather more practical, like, you know, my husband's a builder, but, you know, building and plumbing and this sort of thing that are of practical use. So surely companies can get involved and maybe sponsor students and take them on board afterwards.
If the government wants to raise money, which, and we all know about this, has got to go, but I'd rather they looked at the number of people on the dole first before they took education away from people that really need it.
OK, it's our final...